Hello, and welcome back to Her Poison Pen. In our last episode, we spoke with esteemed editor and author Monique Simon. And Monique shared with us how she finds her characters, or rather, how her characters find her. Now, today, on this mysterious, dark full moon, we're going to learn three techniques that are absolutely essential for bringing your characters to life on the page. Now, these techniques can be used for any genre, but as I said, they're absolutely essential when you're working in dark fiction. Okay, the first critical technique is paying attention to little details about your characters, details that will bring them to life and make them different from all the other characters on the page and in real life. Let's say that you have a serial killer. She's 34 years old. She's 5'6". She is Hispanic, has long black hair and sparkling brown eyes. Let's call her Carolina. Now, fair enough, your readers have a pretty good idea of what Carolina looks like. But other than the fact that she kills people on a regular schedule, she really isn't any different than any other run-of-the-mill 5'6" Hispanic serial killer, right? We need to make Carolina different. We need to give her a personality. So let's walk through her kitchen for a moment and look for a few details. Now, Carolina's kitchen is absolutely spotless. And above a counter, there is a shelf with 12 or more cookbooks, all on how to cook and eat healthy in order to lose weight. So we have a little something more about Carolina. What's important to her? Cooking and eating healthy to lose weight. It's a step, but let's keep looking around that kitchen. What we notice on the counter below that counter is a large plate with half of a 3-layer chocolate cake. Now, that chocolate cake has not been sliced neatly with a knife. It's been gouged with a fork. And in fact, that fork is still on the plate, and there's still a chunk of chocolate cake on that fork, as if whoever were gouging that cake was distracted and left that bite on the counter. Now, we have a completely different person. We have somebody that your readers will definitely remember, and maybe they can even relate to her. Guaranteed, your readers will remember that decimated chocolate cake and those cookbooks on healthy cooking and eating long after they've forgotten what Carolina looks like. The next thing you need to do in order to have one of these amazing techniques is to learn a few things about your character that will tell you, the writer, what your character is going to do next, or at least what they logically should do next. And in dark fiction, this information is what keeps readers biting their nails on the edge of their seats, screaming, "No, don't go in that door." We need to learn these three things and use them. Number one, what does your character want? Two, what does she need? And wants and needs are oftentimes not the same thing. And finally, what can't she have? Okay. Wants are generally external items, something outside of the person, whereas needs are generally something inside, such as a life goal or, more importantly, even a life lesson. So, by knowing these three things, what she wants, what she needs, and what she can't get, you can put your character into situations that make her more like a truly living person than just a character in a story. For example, find out what your protagonist really, really, really wants, and then have her do something or experience something that completely blocks her ability to get what she wants. And at the same time, give her what she needs and see how she deals with that object or life lesson. Real people encounter wanting, needing, and being denied their greatest desires. And this happens to real people every day. If your character experiences these situations, she will create empathy in the reader, and she will become as real as you and me. The third and most difficult of these three techniques is concerns secrets. Now, every character in dark fiction, whether she's a saint or a sinner, will have at least one of these three secrets. She may have two, she may have all of them, but she will have at least one. Readers don't need to know these secrets, but you, as the creator, as the writer, you need to know her secret. Your characters, each one of them, will hide doubt, shame, or guilt. And most of her decisions and her actions will hinge on how that doubt, shame, or guilt originated in her life. Real people have secrets. Our decisions and our actions are often determined by what we hide. And so, if you, as a writer, know what your character is hiding, you can portray her in a very realistic, well rounded, alive person portrayal. Now, why is this technique so hard to accomplish? Well, your character is going to be quite reluctant to give up her secret. You're going to have to do some careful listening and pay close attention to learn the dark secret that drives your character's decisions and actions. But your work will be well rewarded when your readers tell you that they felt like they really understood and they really cared about your characters. So, in sum, to breathe life into the characters of dark fiction, you need to pay attention to the little details that set each character apart from all the others. And you need to share one or two of those little details with your readers. Let them in on those little details. You also need to know what your character wants, needs, and can't have so that you can put her in situations that either thwart her or push her forward. And finally, as a skilled creator of dark secrets, you need to find out your character's deepest secret. She will be hiding doubt, shame, or guilt, and it's your job to find out what her secret is and how she came to have that secret. That will give her and you decisions and actions that bring her alive. If you employ these three techniques as you write your dark stories, you will create characters that absolutely come alive on the page. And your readers will think about and empathize with those characters for many, many dark moons. Now, I'll drift away And I'll read and write and think. And like you, I will put words on paper. Stay witchy.